Hello, this video is for Mr. Ziggynumnums. He had some questions about a Royal typewriter that he was looking at fixing up and using possibly at some point in time. I, as you can see, am a fan of Royals, and the model he's looking at is a red Royal Safari Portable, roughly 15 to possibly 20 years older than this one, but overall they haven't changed much. The big differences you're going to find is his is going to have more of a plastic body to it, whereas this one is steel, glass covered keys. His are plastic. It's more plastic than I prefer, but it's Royal, so all the mechanics on the inside are relatively the same. Good quality. There's not too many faults I can find with these. They're just amazing machines, and I've yet to come across a Royal that I couldn't get working again. He was asking about ribbon. Ribbon is still available, sold online. It will come with plastic spools that, for the most part, are universal to most models, especially with Royals. You can really just take the new ribbon out of the package, install the spools, make sure that it goes in the right direction, and should be good to go after that point. If you find any keys that are sticking, like you hit it and it won't go all the way back down and get stuck here, or it won't hit all the way, this comb in here, this spot, let's see here, on this spot here is called the comb. And what you're going to want to do is take some 3-in-1 sewing machine or gun oil and spray it in here. And then you work the keys, and you might see some buildup from dust and other particles coming up out of those little slots. You clean that out, apply a little more oil to keep it lubricated. You don't want to overdo it. I would put some type of cloth or something underneath the typewriter when you do that, so you're not covering the surface of whatever you have it on in that oil. If that doesn't work, if you're still finding that things are sticking, two other things you can try. It could be that the oil or whatever was used beforehand has gummed up. So I've had really good results with Goo Gone. You put that in there and it usually frees it up almost immediately. The other thing you can try is rubbing alcohol, where you spray it in there and you wipe it out. You move the parts and you keep spraying it until you work out whatever is built up within the comb. And those are the three things I would try before venturing into using something else. Ooh, these are really dirty. That's what it looks like when you use a nice fresh ribbon. Other tips and pointers. I like to use cardstock. As you can see, this has taken a lot of abuse. I've used this for 5 or 6 pages of writing. A lot of these pin prick points here is the period key. Likes to punch into whatever is in front of the platen. To protect the platen, I put this in between the actual paper that I'm using. So I double it up, I roll it through, and that saves this rubber platen from being chewed up and limiting the life of the typewriter. That is one pointer that I try to give everybody who buys one. These platens can be pricey and hard to replace. They also dry out over time, so they're not as bouncy. So if you find one that is hard, definitely use some cardstock in between the paper and and the platen, and that should help save the lifespan of the typewriter. Other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot to go over. Try to keep it free from dust. Put some type of cover over the typewriter. I know a lot of people try to use them as display pieces, and you know, they think they look cool, and they're right, but it is a working machine, and if you ever hope to use it or have it working again, you're going to want to keep the dust and hair and other particles out of it. And so covering it with some type of plastic or even a sheet, I don't know. They used to make typewriter covers for these specifically, but when you do come across them, they're usually torn up, brittle. A lot of the older ones were either leather or plastic. Machines that were 100+ years old actually had metal covers that the machines would come attached to a piece of wood. And there was a metal cover with a handle that would go above the typewriter. It would lock in, and you would actually carry it in that case. Most of those are missing now. But, you know, even back then they had the right idea of keeping these things clean. For other tips and pointers, there are World War II black and white videos that you can find on YouTube. One was made by the Navy that explains the proper way to maintain your typewriter. It even goes so far as to showing how to, let's say you make a mistake while typing, you would actually move this all the way to one end or the other, and you would use an eraser, you would brush it to the side so that stuff did not fall inside the typewriter. And, you know, tips and pointers like that are available. So check out some of those videos. They're not very long, 4 to 5 minutes maybe. And that'll help take care of your typewriter. So, one last suggestion. I like to use all black ribbon because it doubles the lifespan of the ribbon. I find no use in having the black and red, the red stripe being on the bottom. That's more for clerical accountants, people like that who need to type stuff that's in the red. Some poets like to use it. They'll type a word in red to emphasize the importance or dramatize their poems. That's about it. There's really no other reason. If you're a writer, if you're using these for journaling, short stories, writing novels, whatever, just get the all black ribbon. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money. On the upside, the switch here, if you find that the top of the ribbon is becoming worn, the letters aren't as vibrant as they used to be, you switch it over to red and you have just doubled the lifespan of your black ribbon, because now you're using the lower half. Some models like the Hermes will have another switch where it uses the middle of the ribbon and you get 3 times the life out of your ribbon than before, but not every model has that. Like I said, I know the Hermes do. I don't know of any others. So maybe if you know of another one that does that, you know, leave a comment down below. But that's about it. Now that I've wasted 10 minutes of your time talking about typewriters, you can go about your day, and I hope that this was useful. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Keep on typing.